listen and watch. Hall of Fame, the way I'm pitching the rock. The same shit from the lip, just a chip from the block. Nope, see, you niggas ain't ready. Nope, you niggas ain't ready. Revelation, contemplation, transformation. It's Friday the 13th, and guess who playing Jason? You niggas ain't ready. Nope, you niggas ain't ready. Nope, you niggas ain't ready. Revelation, contemplation, transformation. Friday the 13th, and guess who playing Jason? It's me, nigga. I seen it in my crystal ball under the mistletoe. I seen this shit crystal clear. They feel like they getting close. The timing already here. They feel like I didn't know. My ancestors had me prepared. I'm using a different scope because the missiles is locked. Malicious pistols are cocked. The army different from cops. I observe, I listen and watch. Hall of Fame, the way I'm pitching the rock. The same shit from the lip, just a chip from the block. No, these niggas ain't ready. Nope, these niggas ain't ready. Revelation, contemplation, transformation. It's Friday the 13th, and guess who playing Jason? It's me, nigga. Nope, you niggas ain't ready. No, you niggas ain't ready. Nope, you niggas ain't. No, you niggas. No. Revelation, contemplation, transformation. Friday the 13th, and guess who playing Jason?
Peace to the family. Let's get it popping 10. It's your boy, the Hood Mystic, representing www.hoodmystic.com. I need everybody to do something, like this video, share this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't. This is The Truth is Stranger Than Fiction. Today we are covering episode 6, Lovecraft Country. This episode, I ran through it yesterday with Dark Serpent. He gave me the okay because at first I wasn't going to do this because it didn't make sense. But now looking at the Breonna Taylor thing, realizing that September 23rd was the day that the killers of Emmett Till were exonerated, and also the day that Breonna Taylor's killers were exonerated, we actually know the energy. We actually know the tie-in. We actually know the ritual that's being played. However, the truth is stranger than fiction, and you're not going to hear this information nowhere else. So that might put me in an interesting box. That might have me look a little crazy, but y'all listening to it. So what did that say about y'all? So here we go. The truth is stranger than fiction. Meet me in Daegu. Daegu is a city in South Korea. Okay. And first we have the South Korean lady in an American theater wearing an American uniform with the Navy symbol on her arm, indicating that maybe Korea and America are synonymous in a particular space because they know their audience. And when you know your audience, you know what you're talking about and what you're bringing to them. So in the space of the mind control, Daegu is not in 1955, is not in South Korea. It's actually in America now because we're watching it in the present and they're using the past time energy to do a mind control. I'll do you one better. How do you know that this went down the way it went down in 1955? You don't. You're just taking people's word for it. So peace to everyone. The reality that we're working with, because I don't want to go too fast because people will come and people will go and people will kind of not understand the premise for Lovecraft Country. And the premise for the show is that time and space do not exist. So when you actually think that time and space actually exist, what tends to happen is the same rituals get played on you and on you again. And what's the meaning of these rituals? What I've come to figure out is that it's the removal of a bloodline. And the removal is like, you're not going to remove it, but you definitely going to remove the information. So we have a Tecumseh download that I've been kind of laying out these past 6 episodes. The revelation isn't today, but these are the times of letting me know that we are getting closer to the second coming of Tecumseh. Why do I say that? Because they're referencing Meet Me in St. Louis. This is the movie that the young lady is dancing to, Judy Garland film, Meet Me in St. Louis. But St. Louis isn't just a place. If you look at St. Louis, what do y'all see? Can y'all see that? Can y'all see Ferguson? I'm going to zoom in a little bit further, right? So basically, The Truth is Stranger Than Fiction, right? The movie that they're referencing is called Meet Me in Ferguson. Now, Ferguson in Louisville is just Ferguson 2.0. What do I mean? Because they literally set up the riot gear before people actually started rioting. Now, rioting should not work like in case y'all don't know, rioting shouldn't be planned for. If that was the case, then everything is set up. And once the rioting is over, you either going to jail or you going home. But ain't nothing going to happen because they prepared for y'all. But we can see, because space and time, like all of this is irrelevant. I'm watching the show trying to get a feel for Judy Garland and I can't, right? But I was like, well, just keep looking at it. It'll make sense to you, Kyrie. So, okay, meet me in St. Louis, but also meet me in Ferguson, meet me in Louisville, because the truth is always stranger than fiction. But you know me, I'm going to ride the Mississippian River all the way down 162 miles to New Madrid. Why? Because that's the birthplace of an ancestor that I would like to call Lewis Till. And so when we're connecting Lewis Till, Emmett Till, Breonna Taylor to a specific ritual and a specific conjuring of particular energy that moves melanated people backwards, not forwards. Okay? Meet me in Daegu. So we have, and let me know, give me a little thumbs up in the chat if y'all follow me. I'm going to take a little sip of some tea. Am I making sense or am I getting a little bit too confused? Because if I'm confusing you now, it's only going to get a little crazier as we progress. So let me know if we can understand how they could call this show Meet Me in Daegu, but then it's a movie called Meet Me in St. Louis, right? But Daegu and St. You don't get Meet Me in Daegu if you don't get Meet Me in St. Louis. So we're going to tie into St. Louis and we also going to tie into Daegu. Okay? Because what is Daegu? Daegu City or Mound City is the hillocks or known as tumuli or burial mounds, and they date back to the 2nd and 6th century. I don't have the etymology up here, but I needed to. That's unfortunate, but you can Google it yourself, right? Just Google Daegu and it'll come up to a large hill. And then you'll just say, okay, are there burial mounds in Daegu? And sure enough, there are burial mounds that date back to the 2nd and 6th centuries. I'll make sense of it later. But meet me in St. Louis, right? Let's talk about St. Louis for a second because people think St. Louis is St. Louis. No, St. Louis is Cahokia, okay? Because I'm not going to get excited today. I'm going to be real chill, calm, cool, and collected about this shit because motherfuckers is ignorant as hell. So what's the point of me being upset for no reason? Peace and calm is the way of the shaman. St. Louis is not St. Louis. St. Louis is Louis IX of France. It was named after St. Louis IX of France. That's interesting to keep in mind because the historical affiliations of this area started in France, Spain, France again, and then United States now. But being on top of this energy and then calling it St. Louis, the descendants and subsequent ancestors be actually calling a place that's Cahokia St. Louis after this monarch from France. It's like when you leave your house, a Chinese man come into your house and your kids call him daddy. Right? Like your kids be calling the dude that make, you know what I'm saying, around, like, you know what I'm saying, just some random dude daddy. That don't make sense. So like, think about millions and millions of people going to the landmark that we call Cahokia, and y'all be literally calling that shit St. Louis. Think about how ignorant you are. For real. Think about that shit. Because that place is not called St. Louis. Think about that. Okay, so meet me in St. Louis. Well, we got to meet in St. Louis. We got to talk about St. Louis. We got to go to Cahokia. The area that would become St. Louis was a center of the Native American Mississippian culture, which built numerous temple and residential earthwork mounds. So the actual suppression is not against quote unquote black people, it's against mound builders and their descendants. It has been and always will be. Shout out to the Till family, the tillers of the land. Okay? Because they doing a full-on Emmett Till ritual, and they're using Breonna Taylor as a symbol for what's already been done and will continuously be done, because we don't know who we are. We go to Cahokia, and mind you, we call it Cahokia. That's bad, but even worse is people call it St. Louis. Like indigenous ancestors call that place St. Louis. So in the reference of Tecumseh, Tecumseh was born in Chillicothe, Ohio. Chillicothe, Ohio is another great center, and all you have to do is Google Mound City, Chillicothe, and you will see what I'm talking about. So Tecumseh is definitely a mound builder. Emmett Till is definitely a mound builder, but we have to get there. These mounds were mostly demolished during the city's development. I'm going to just stop there. So we also have a place called New Madrid, Missouri, which I said is 162 miles south of St. Louis. I apologize, Cahokia, but even deeper, the center, the city larger than London. When London was at its height and Cahokia was at its height, Cahokia was larger. But yet and still we have no reverence to that place. I mean, people go there to jog and work out. This is how lost we are. We're not even going there to hold spiritual services and awaken our awareness, because we are too considered. I can't say we, because me and my family are avid mound builders. We know who we are, right? I can open up my scrapbook and I can show you thousands of pictures of mounds that I bear witness to, that I've ritualized, that I've connected to. I know for a fact that who I am, and nobody has to tell me. Nobody can trigger me. Nobody can get me upset, because you're not even talking about me, because I know who I am. But when you say I'm black and I'm from St. Louis, that's all, you automatically wiped off the board. You don't even know who you are. You ain't even done the research, right? You haven't even done the research. But in the whole Mississippi, right? I'm just going to prove a point. The whole Mississippi is highlighted by mounds from Canada all the way down to New Orleans. Poverty Point, all Mississippi, all mounds. Mounds are highways or underground tunnels from people to get to and fro. These ancestors are still accessing certain mound portals to get from, wait for it, Chicago to Korea. Why? Because the same mounds that's in America is still in Korea. And I haven't read the book. I don't know what's happening, but I guarantee you there will be a portal from Korea to Chicago. And you might be wondering how that portal is magic. And we will bear witness on this channel that no. It is magic, but it's more centered into the mounds. And you have to do your own research, and you have to go and have your own experience, and you have to have your own third eye open. Well, here we go. Daegu, large hill. You can't make this stuff up. Even if you did, you would sound crazy, right? I'm not going to get excited. I'm going to be really calm and relaxed because, that's what I am. That's what I represent. So Louis Till was an American soldier. He was the father of. So how did I get to Louis Till? I was listening to Candace Owens reference statistics of households in the before pre-60s. And the statistics were that 75% of the households, Black families, were male and father. And meaning that it was rare for a person to just have a mother in the home. And even a better statistics were the Caucasian homes that had 3% of single parents and 97% of male-female households. So in reference to Emmett Till, I found it interestingly odd that in 1955 that a little boy only had a mother being the one that was the one who supported him in his transition. I would expect a man and a woman to support that young man in his transition in those times. But see, we are so out of touch that we normalize single parenthood like we think that shit is okay. But mind you, in 1955, you niggas would have got y'all asses beat for walking out on your family. Not by the police. You ain't have to worry about child support. You had to worry about your wife's uncles and brothers and fathers finding you and kicking your ass, right? People didn't want that pain or that pressure. So they took care of their family or they went off to war and some of them died. But then I thought it's interesting, right? Because, Louis Till was a soldier and he could have died in a gang shootout or something like that, or got hit by a bus or something like that. But it's like, no, he died in Italy. I said, Italy? Let me drink a little bit of this tea. Now we know Kobe Bryant was born in Italy. And we know this book keep throwing this story keep throwing Count of Monte Cristo in your face. And Alexandre Dumas, he, wait for it, died in Italy. So I'm like, okay, Italy, men dying, soldiers and things of that nature. So I'm trying to piece this thing together because we have Tick, who is a soldier. And he's in Korea and he's falling in love with Jiha. And trust me, I'm not getting into that aspect of the story because that aspect is quite silly and quite childish. Like, people talk about this show like it's good. People talk about this show like it's spiritual. No, these are your enemies. Like, come on, man. Let's regress for a second, man, because y'all be really tweaking out here, man. Y'all will watch a show on HBO and not view it as propaganda. How do that make sense? Okay? And if you don't see these lines being played, if you don't see the annihilation of bloodlines, the annihilation of ancestors and their predescendants, and you think that I gotta drink some more of this tea because this tea tastes really, really good, man. Black bodies, they die, they perish, they are sacrificed, they are murdered ad infinite. However, when the powers that be pinpoint on a particular entity that has been reincarnated, they tend to want to find that energy and martyr it. It is Jesus over and over and over again. Why? Because the emotional frequency of Black people are like a caterpillar. Let's do the etymology for locust, because watch episode 5. They'll talk about the locust. What you will get is caterpillar. Why? Because a caterpillar is also a butterfly, and that caterpillar at once is different sections of individuals that if you hurt any one of those sections, all of those sections feel it. So when you deal with messianic energy, is this too deep? Am I losing y'all? Because y'all be real confused and real mad over rituals, and y'all not even identifying the messiahs within y'all community and protecting them. Because your eyes is covered with jealousy and envy and hate because you can't do the things. Oh, man, shit. So you let Lewis Till get drafted because, of course, he had abilities. Of course, he was otherworldly. Of course, he was devilish. Of course, nobody telling this man that he is a descendant of the great Tecumseh. And if it ain't him, it's his son. And y'all need to protect yourselves. You can't be out here like that. You need to get with Mamie. You need to get with Bobo. Because this shit ain't what you think it is, Louis. Wait a second. Did y'all just see what I did there? St. Louis, meet me in St. Louis. Y'all ain't see what I did there. I ain't even see what I did there. God damn it. Meet me in St. Louis. Meet me in Mound City. Meet me in Cahokia, right? Meet me with the ancestors. Meet me with the burial mounds. Meet me with the actual conduits of ancestral energy, ley lines, right? Man. Lewis Till was executed by the U.S. Army in 1945 after being found guilty of murder and rape. Peace to the family. Peace. So y'all, then again, I swear, if y'all conscious niggas don't stop with this Lovecraft, y'all don't study shit. Y'all think that your imagination is the king and your imagination is based on fear. Ain't no imagination. It's only love and fear. So the understanding of Lovecraft Country is the understanding of the occult. What is the occult? I'll give y'all the multiple choice, A, B, or C. Is the occult weird niggas in hoods? Is the occult bunch of spells and rituals? Or is the occult your inner body, your glands, your intestines, your digestive system, your reproductive system, your brain, your central nervous system, your electromagnetic system. Is that occult? C. A, B, or C? I'll wait and drink some more of this tea. Y'all get an A today. Y'all so smart. So when they tell the nurses identify the parts of the body, that is Lovecraft country, ladies and gentlemen. End of the story. How do you know that what you talking about it ain't bullshit, Kyrie? Well, Lovecraft, H.P. Lovecraft, seen this Cthulhu's mythos as this great thing and this great thing, but he was only afraid with his untimely demise. He may have been a psychic and seen how he was going to die. How did he die, Hood? Cancer of the small intestines, right? Imagine knowing that you're going to die from your small intestines, and just Google small intestines and then Google Cthulhu and tell me if we're not talking about the same thing. So you mean to tell me all of this stuff he's talking about, the inside of the body, that's it? That's all you got, fam? Fuck all that magical spiritual miracle shit that you be referencing like it's going to actually matter. And when it get down to the get down, what's going to matter when it get down to get down? Your fight or fear responses. Hello, can I get another sip of tea for that one? Well, Hood, I know all the spells and the rituals, but when I get scared, I just lock down. I got an obsidian. But that inner work, I don't know nothing about that. What's the point? You got any money spells? Hello. People fear what they don't understand, hate what they can't conquer. Guess it's just a theory of man became a monster. That's nice. That's nice. I thought this was interesting. So, Kyrie Hassan Anthony, that is 5, 5, and 7. I counted it many, many times. I know that my number is 17. My birthday, August 23rd. I don't got nothing to do with nothing, but the truth is always stranger than fiction. Okay, so let's talk about jihad. Let's talk about the truth is stranger than fiction, because everybody was connecting the Kumiho to the Lovecraft mythos, and it's a fox with 9 tails. It's a fox with 9 tails that sucks the energy from women. Let's do this again. Let's get back into Lovecraft country, because that's where we're at. So Tick has the ring. The ring is so interesting. My ring is somewhat like Tick's, but we're not going to get into that. That is a secret. This tea is so damn good, I can't even hold it. So Tick is Solomon. Solomon has his ring. He can control the demons. He can understand what everyone is saying, right? Solomon has a relationship with the Queen of Sheba. Well, the Queen of Sheba is Belquis in American Gods, but she's also Jihad's, the same energy. But this is all relative to now. Ain't nobody came through, knocked on your door and told you that you was a goddess. You had to find that goddess within, and now you got to be careful. Ladies, you got to be careful in 2020. The reason why we not having sex is because y'all don't know y'all energy. How do I know y'all don't know y'all energy? Because y'all will really want to actually have sex with somebody as if we not hip to the things that happen with sex. This is tying back to the 1950s and the 1940s, where it was pretty much normal for a man and a woman to raise a child, because the reality of the world that y'all niggas is creating through all of this random ass sex, bot sex, sex for no reason. Y'all talk about sex sales, no, crack sales, oil sales, goddamn cotton swab sale. Damn it, sex don't be selling like that, because if y'all ass was wanting to sell sex, y'all won't have a lot of customers. But I digress. Get off this whole culture shit. This whole shit is a program that it don't make no logical sense. We could talk about it in the multiple streams of info podcast coming soon with the Dark Serpent. Just wait on it. I know you are. It's coming. But let's go. The power of absorption. Like, we had a window, family, of just kind of random free sex and just, all of that shit. That shit closed. Why? Because if you take on a person's energy that ain't sound, and then you have these particular experiences that you can't explain, the only solution is that you absorb that person's energy. And then if you want to have sex and then do other things with other people, you spreading that shit. That's the coronavirus, right? Like, have you vetted the energy of the person that you letting come inside of you? That's very important. And if you don't think that it's important and you think I'm full of shit, then maybe this ain't the channel for you. But this is my channel. I get to say whatever the fuck I want to. So that's important to me. And not to say if my wife was like, well, I don't agree with you and I want to start having sex with people, I ain't going to leave her, but we going to stop having sex. Like, that's how serious I am about it. Because I don't want other people's energy. I like my own energy because I'm still learning it. Still getting used to it. Maybe when I know my energy completely, if that's ever going to happen, maybe. But in this space and time, they letting you know what's happening. And the issue with Gia, she learned to control her powers, but even when she thinks she learned to control her powers, she really didn't. And man, I know a lot of people don't like what I'm saying, but you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Just look at the results of your sexual relationships and then tie 2 and 2 together. Trust me, I'm a big hoe. I've done a lot of infidelity and unfaithfulness in my life, but now I absolutely refuse because the times have changed. Some energy have switched up in my 7th house or something. It ain't the thing that's happening. So that's that jihad thing. But Queen of Sheba is Solomon. That's related to jihad having the relationship with Atticus. Hopefully that makes sense. But the truth is always stranger than fiction. Don't mean to suck your energy. Oh my gosh. So this science is not really investigated and it's not really fully understood, but you can see it and you can feel it. I know guys feel it and they understand it, but they can't verbalize it. And generally, if your dude was like, well, you absorbing, I feel like I'm talking to your baby dad right now and not you. He wouldn't say that to you because he don't want to hurt your feelings. But the reality is that altercreations.net sells womb steams for this specific purpose, to get that unwanted micro charismatic energy out of you so you can be present in your relationship. So many times you have to hear countless stories about what an ex-boyfriend done did, what an ex-girlfriend done did. And it's just like, you literally keep reliving that shit because that energy is crystallized within your DNA. because you did the ultimate act. See, what's the reality? This is multiple choice. Is marriage when you sign papers, or is marriage when you put your PP in the vajayjay? Is that the ring? Is the penis going down the vaginal, the man walking down the aisle? A or B? So if y'all watch the show and y'all be caught up in the characters and not caught up in the science of life, then once again, this show ain't for you. Because I could care less about the characters, the plot, and the storyline. First of all, the lead male act is a dude that just cannot act to save his life. And I'm sure there are thousands of qualified actors for that role that was overlooked for some ritualistic reason. Maybe because he was in the Five Bloods with Chadwick Boseman and they needed that energy to carry on into this actual show. The truth is stranger than fiction. She says it even deeper, jihad, when she's referencing the souls that she's captured. Listen, you ever had an orgasm? And that girl just be looking at you with making them faces? What do you think happened to your soul in that moment? She's swallowing it. This whole situation be happening every night. We just don't have our third eyes open and we caught up in our lower selves. Don't worry. Your experience will let you know that you shouldn't have been doing that. All of his memories are in me. This is why you can't stop thinking about them. However, you don't got a regulatory process of steaming out. And I'm not picking, I'm just saying, when you have these conversations day in and day out, and I'm just talking to my wife and me, and we in the community, you know what I'm saying? People my wife would be at the grocery store and she'd start her ministry. You know what I'm saying? And be like, shit, I gotta go see what's her face again and drop her off these steams. I say, what happened? She done took the steam and then had sex right after the steam. And I'm like, dang. So you mean to tell me she got her car washed and then she hit the mud trail? Yeah, see. And now she mad that the car is dirty. She can't get these stains out. See, people not really getting it. Unless you want this person's inner, and that's where it comes to I ain't saying that it's bad, but then deal with energy that's smart or got some money, or you know what I'm saying? He got a bloodline or a lineage. You can reflect on some spiritual shit. You know what I'm saying? You can reflect for real. You know what I'm saying? They have some positive memories and things of that nature. You just got to be smart. And so I thought about why would you say this? How would you say this? I'm like, well, this is exactly how I would talk to my daughter, right? This is exactly what I would say to my daughter. I know you're going to do whatever you want to do, sis. I know you're going to have fun and all of that, but please, please, please develop a mental relationship with a person till you can't stand it. You know what I'm saying? Don't share energy with people till that person is so committed and so down for you on so many multiple levels that it's easy to make that decision. You want their memories, you want their past, you want all of that. You know what I'm saying? You can handle it. And that goes both ways. But we're in the movie theater again, and there what seems to be an earthquake. Now, the truth is stranger than fiction because I got a story to tell. A lot of y'all ain't gonna believe me. I've been telling this story place to place, just spreading my mythology throughout the land. You know, this is some real charlatan shit, or this is some real prophetic stuff, but I digress. Friday, we were on the road to go to a memorial in Ohio. We were traveling from Detroit to Michigan. My wife told me, hey, you know, if you take Telegraph straight, it'll lead straight into Columbus. That's the old 23. And that was like, well, yeah, 23, that's Tecumseh's route too, because Tecumseh lived in Chillicothe. Chillicothe is along 23. Mound City is along 23. Okay. So I was like, wow, that's interesting. So I get into my own bag, and then I'm doing that whole research, and I figured that Tecumseh declared that he was going to go to Chicago. I mean, not Chicago, but Detroit, and stomp his feet and cause an earthquake. So I was like, you know what I'm going to do, babe? Because we was dropping the kids off in Ohio. First, I was going to go to Chillicothe, but I didn't have enough time because I had the class to get ready, prepared for, and the baby was here. So we had to come back and get the baby. So on my way back to get the baby or whatever, or on our way back, we made a stop at the Stargate in downtown Detroit. That was a Friday. It was me, my wife, and John. I was like, John, you going to stomp with me? He just looked at me. So I was like, cool. No, he was crying. He wanted me to pick him up. So I just picked him up, and I gave 3 big stomps. Went to sleep, didn't think nothing of it. It's a huge Stargate in Detroit, by the way. Most people don't know about it. It's the same Stargate from Stargate Atlantis. I don't think it's the same exact one, but the replica of Stargate Atlantis in downtown Detroit. So, of course, me, stomped 3 times, didn't think nothing of it, wake up, come to find out it was an earthquake in California. But then a few days later, it was an earthquake in New Madrid. Now, New Madrid is the same exact place that the earthquakes took place when Tecumseh went to Detroit and stomped 3 times. Because Tecumseh was a psychic, an astrologer. He was a mound builder. He was born in Chillicothe. It's like being born in New York and not knowing what a building looks like. Y'all don't hear what I'm saying, because before the cities, this whole place was covered with mounds. The whole modality of city and civilization is the control of the mounds. But the reality is, don't call them mounds, because all you got to begin to do is think about it, and it'll awaken something within you that gives you the power to go where your ancestors have gone and began to ritualize. I mean, simply stomp. I mean, simply do anything to let them know that you are connected. Anything to let them know that you are here, right? Because when Tecumseh did this in 1812, 1811, he caused a 7.2. So I got to get my stompings together. Got to get my stompings a little harder. But like I say, the truth is always stranger than fiction. But New Madrid is actually the birthplace of Louis Till. So let's talk about Louis Till. Can y'all tell I don't really care about the show that much? Because we're referencing the show and the earthquake, and then I kind of get into my own little spill. But let's get back to the point. So all of this is in relation to everything. I'll try to wrap this up with a bow and tie it into the show, so you know. More of this tea before it go. I'm a poet, if you ain't know. While serving in the Italian campaign, Till was arrested by military police who suspected him and another soldier, Fred A. McMurray, of the murder of an Italian woman and the rape of 2 others in, you got it. After a short investigation, he and McMurray were court-martialed, found guilty, and sentenced to death by hanging. The sentence was carried out by the United States Army Disciplinary Training Center north of Pisa. For he had been in prison alongside American poet, no relation to me, Ezra Pound, who had been in prison for collaborating with the Nazis and Italian fascists. Okay. And Ezra has said Till was hung yesterday for murder, rape with trimmings. Okay. He's still buried in Italy. Now, in the show, there is a scene of a person that is getting buried, and he is called a communist. And they're saying, kill the communists, right? So I'm thinking like, man, what is a communist? And I'm also tying it into Louis Till's death, okay? And I'm going to bring it in home. I'm going to make sense of this. And hopefully y'all are seeing the actual themes play out. So he's actually hung in Korea, okay? So this is what we call Black communism. Communism is a Marxist rhetoric. Now, Black Lives Matter is, if you listen to the founders, they say they take a lot of Marxist approaches. And a Marxist approach is the reason why you don't see Black Lives Matter handing out water to people, building up businesses, you know, helping old ladies walk across the street, because a Marxist approach is only going to come when there's trouble. Listen to me. Black Lives Matter only show up when there is trouble. So I'm going to let y'all just think about that for a second. I'll be right back.
Don't mean to be the bearer of bad news, but terror and doom looms from error and sad tools. Comparison to that dude, I'm mirrored in that too. They scared of my bad moves, but I got a bag too. You better get back, move, because the missiles is locked, malicious pistols is cocked. The army very different from cops. I observe and listen and watch. Hall of Fame, the way I'm pitching the rock. The same shit from the lip, just a chip from the block. Nope, see, you niggas ain't ready.
Had to get my water, I had to switch it up. So Black Lives Matter, they only come in negative situations. Meaning Ben Crump only can come around not to, you know, get somebody off for selling some yayo, you know what I'm saying? Not to get nobody off on a traffic ticket, but it only could be specifically to a cop killing a Black person. If a Black person kill another Black person, Ben Crump is nowhere to be found. Black Lives Matter is no longer to be found. If a Black person want to go to college, Ben Crump is nowhere to be found. Black Lives Matter is no longer to be found. What is this? This is communism. And let's get into the reason for this communist approach. So this is the Negrotarian, according to Richard Wright. Now tell me what this sounds like after I read this. The Negrotarian's approach robs African Americans of their individuality. Who is Louis Till? Who is Emmett Till? We don't get to know that because their lives are taken from them from the government. And if you say that the government didn't kill Emmett Till, the government allowed the murderers of Emmett Till to walk free. So that means to me that the government is complicit in the murder of Emmett Till, such as they are complicit in the murder of Breonna Taylor. Did you know that? If they let the murderers go and we have no legal recourse for justice, then that means that the government is complicit in the murder because they sign off on the warrants. They build the barricades to let y'all say y'all can riot here. But if y'all take a right here, we got the guards here, we got the barricades here. Y'all can't riot here. And that's not how rioting is supposed to go. So it robs us of our individuality, thus their humanity. The Negrotarian poses a paradox. Black lives matter is a paradox. And since they propagate charity to the cause, see, when you donate to Black Lives Matter, this is taken by a democratic response. I can't think of the name, Blue Dot or something to that effect. Act Blue, something to that effect. You donate to Black Lives Matter, you donate into the Democratic Party. But do not support the fundamental economic changes. So Black Lives Matter, how am I going to get some support and some recourse? How am I going to get some solutions? Oh, it's a specific lives that didn't say that. Specific Black Lives Matter. That's a clear, more understanding of the movement. However, communism, it is implied specifics, but the logo or the slogan is an overview. So women equality, no, specific women, not all women. Black lives, specific Black lives, not all. In these movements, in this communism system. And I'm going to connect this to everything that we've been experiencing in this particular solar cycle. Because y'all say year like it's a matter of fact. This ain't 2020. This ain't the 2020th year. We don't know what year it is. Our whole idea of history has been given to us. History is a set of laws that people agree to. So in reference to kill the communists, and you passively watch this, what? The lead character walks up to a young lady and kills the young lady in cold blood because she's a communist. What is a communist? Moreover, viewing Black people as a cause to provide financial assistance to allows Negrotarians to absolve themselves of further responsibility for institutional racism and ignore their own role in the oppression of Black bodies all over the planet, from Korea to America. And this is from ignorance of who we actually are, because this is what they call a colored revolution. People are not even colors. But when you reference people as colors, you're referencing a political status. And the political status of the mound builders is that we are prisoners of war. Hence, Tick being a soldier. Hence, Louis Till having the choice to either go to prison or be a soldier, for which he thought being a soldier would be the right aspect. But a prisoner of war is a prisoner of war. And until we start to understand that as a unit, we won't get no change. Even when we think we getting change, we playing into a mind control. And I don't think y'all understand what I'm saying. If they give you the label for which you to, like if we walk into class and you have hello, my name is stickers. But that ain't your name. Your name is mound builder. But all there is a hello, my name is a black person. You put it on, you wear it. You start calling yourself that, you start acting like that, and you forget who you are. But understand that this is politics. Understand that this is generational. Understand that they will actually hang and kill you if you have any knowledge of self. Hence, this is what they call lynching, of why they were lynched certain people. It's not because they were just hatred and hated these people. It was acts of war. So the same things that happen in Korea, the same things that happen in Italy, be the same things that happen in America. But y'all don't understand what I'm saying. It's probably too deep. So Louis Till, Alexandre Dumas, Atticus, Jonathan Majors. Jonathan Majors is this person that y'all call an actor. He's mounting on the energies of Alexandre Dumas and the energies of Louis Till. What are you talking about, Hood? You losing me. You sounding crazy. Well, correct me if I'm wrong. Is there a character in this show called Bobo? Now, do me a real quick reference. Now, Google Emmett Till's nickname, Bobo. What year are we referencing? 1955. Okay. What year is the show taking place in? 1955. Why are they doing this? Was Emmett Till in Lovecraft Country, the book? No. They're adding Emmett Till into the book? Yes. Why? So somebody has to hold on to the energy. Somebody has to mount on the energy. All right, cool. Jonathan Majors, throw this energy on. And take on this Alexandre Dumas while you at it. So we got this Louis Till energy, meaning that he's not Emmett Till, he's Louis Till. Emmett Till is the little boy. The father is Atticus, who's off in a war. And he's reading an account of Monte Cristo. Okay, well, what the fuck is the Count of Monte Cristo about? Y'all keep putting it in front of my face. It's about an actual man, a Haitian man, an American man, because North America is the tip of Canada to the tip of South America. That's America. And the Caribbean islands consist of America, fam. Let's be real about this. Let's stop imagining that America consists of these made up imaginary European ass lines. Let's digress for a second. So an American by the name of Alexandre Dumas leaves from America and goes to France. Not from Africa, but from America to Europe. And bruh kicks ass like he is a general. He even get him a white wife and everything, right? He helps Napoleon conquer Egypt, right? But then he goes to Italy and he gets trapped in a dungeon. And this is the actual route to the Count of Monte Cristo, because it's Alexandre Dumas's son is the author of this. He's the same name, right? So you kind of get it confused. So you have this war hero, but you also has this son who is writing his father's life, right? But he was in prison in Italy. So I bring this all up to say, on one shoulder is the energy of Louis Till, and then on the other shoulder is the energy of the father of the author of Count of Monte Cristo. Because you have American energy being outsourced to fight a war, and once he does what he does, he then is executed. Doubling down to when she has the vision with Tick right before the end of the show, what does she say to him? Tick, you're going to die. Lewis, you are going to die. Alexandria, you are going to die. Because the truth is always stranger than fiction. And I told you I'm not going to get upset. I'm taking my time with this. And I think that is pretty much the end of my slideshow. So basically, communism is the removal of personal rights. However, the people have to set the stages for the removal of rights. So the first thing was the corona. The second thing was Ahmaud Arbery. The third thing was Breonna Taylor. The fourth thing was George Floyd. What do they say? Death comes in threes. So the actual colored revolution was Black Lives Matter as the financial backing for the revolution of the invasion. And it is deeply concerning because now they want you to wear masks to go to the store, but you can't wear masks for Halloween. You can't go door to door for Halloween. You must sit in your house and watch TV. And I'm not a trick-or-treater, but when something looks like communism and you tie everything in with a nice little bow, you can see the world that is coming into. And what does this show have to do with it? This show is showing you subtly, overtly, inadvertently, on accident, on purpose, the actual country that you live in. And of course, we can do a deeper dive with Antebellum. Antebellum just came out. And Antebellum is another story of how slavery didn't exist, like slavery exists now, right? Slavery exists now. So what is real? Real is internal. Real is Lovecraft country. Real is your internals. If you're going to have the modality of fear versus the modality of love. What is real? Your ability to connect with energies, your ability to do magic on your own space. Like, can you go to a particular ley line or a particular mound and declare something? Make money fall down from the sky, cause an earthquake, cause a tornado. You know, this is the awakening of those spiritual powers. And so the actual channel from Lewis Till, Emmett Till, Breonna Taylor is more of us coming to a real consensus that death don't truly exist. Energy can never die. It can only be transformed. And the more that we notice this at a holistic level, the more powerful our energy will be. But if we look at these particular rituals, even further, what am I talking about? How you relate Emmett Till. The death of Emmett Till is the singular driving force of the civil rights movement from 1955 onward to the death of Martin Luther King. So when they do these ritualistic deaths, they're trying to push forward a revolution to which we can say, nah, son, you are no longer going to use our ancestors' name in vain. You are no longer going to emotionally hijack me into doing what you want. I'm going to go to the mounds and have a celebration. I'm going to break out of any type of mind control you have me under. Because throughout the show, you have projections of perfection. But then at the end, Judy Garland is explaining how even that shit was a facade. It was unattainable. So here we are in 2020, still wanting to live the life of Julie Garland, the perfect life. And the reality is that we need to learn how to do that from the inside out. This is Lovecraft country. When you look at it from the external, you got it fucked up. And you got it misconstrued. And it's a lot of judgment. However, when you from the inside out, you done dealt with all of the depths and the ugly. Like, to get to this point is a very tumultuous, traumatic journey. And sometimes I think about the thoughts that I have and the thoughts that I have to kind of process. It's not for the faint of heart, but it's still centered in love. So hopefully that made sense. Hopefully you can watch episode 6 and not connect none of these dots and say I'm a completely crazy person, and I'm hopefully okay with that. But go ahead, like, subscribe, share the video anyway, so more people cannot get it. But I'm here to let you know that the truth is stranger than fiction. And let me get back to work. Stop fooling around with y'all. Peace to the family. I will see y'all on the flip side. One.
Don't mean to be the bearer of bad news, but terror and doom looms from error and sad tools. Comparison to that dude, I'm rarer than that too. They scared of my bad moves, but I got a bag too. You better get back, move, because the missiles is locked, malicious pistols is cocked. The army very different from cops. I observe and listen and watch. Hall of Fame, the way I'm pitching the rock. The same shit from the lip, just a chip from the block. Nope, see, you niggas ain't ready. Nope, you niggas ain't ready. Revelation, contemplation, transformation. It's Friday the 13th, and guess who playing Jason? You niggas ain't ready. Nope, you niggas ain't ready. Nope, you niggas ain't ready. Revelation, contemplation, transformation. Friday the 13th, and guess who playing Jason? It's me, nigga. I seen it in my crystal ball under the mistletoe. I seen this shit crystal clear. They feel like they getting close. The timing already here. They feel like I didn't know. My ancestors had me prepared. I'm using a different scope because the missiles is locked. Malicious pistols are cocked. The army